Hello, Robotics Notes fans. Happy September 19th. It is 2:45 in the morning, and welcome to another episode of Robotics Notes Elite like Animal Crossing. Let's load the data. I repeat the same combo against my CPU opponent over and over again. The key to becoming stronger at fighting games is repetition. That way you can minimize input errors. This strat can take you pretty far up the leaderboards. I'm ranked 2nd worldwide, but even then I still have to do this, otherwise I wouldn't be able to maintain my rank. My classmates have become increasingly panicked about studying for entrance exams. Me? Well, instead of attending an exam prep class, I'm leaning against the giant foot of Model 1 and practicing KB. Don't get me wrong, I am a little panicked. I'm gonna end up unemployed at this rate. But compared to my mentality before summer break, I'm a bit more optimistic now. Okay, maybe optimistic is the wrong word. It's more like I've given up. So, the doctor is saying that he should have the surgery. Akiho's voice rings out from behind where I'm sitting. She's been talking about the details of Doc's condition after hearing them from Michi, all while crawling under Model 1 to continue her work on it. She said something about wanting to mess with the wiring, but apparently Doc is saying he doesn't want the surgery. He's just completely lifeless. He's saying that he doesn't even have the energy to go through with it. Huh. I'll just chip at him bit by bit. Akio's holding true to her words. Plus Model 2's assembly. What the fuck was that? What in the fresh hell? I just heard a noise. What the hell? Shit, something like fall over somewhere? Weird as shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back to that in editing. 2 minutes 43 seconds into the footage, remember that, me? Akio's holding true to her words, plus Model 2's assembly hasn't started yet, so she might actually be bored. At this rate, we're gonna hit the point of no return. Even the doctor is looking for someone who can change Doc's mind. Huh, cool. You're not even listening, are you, Kai? Akio crawls out from beneath the robot. Still lying face down on the ground, she looks up at me and glares. I concede, stand up, and reach down for her. I am listening. I take her hand and pull her out. It's sticky with oil. Ugh, I can't play KB like this. Can you be a little considerate, Aki-chan? There's no running water at the airport, so this is gonna suck. I left some wet towelettes in the hangar for times like this. I wonder if there are any left. An oily hand is a badge of honor, said the genius Akiho Sonomiya. Yeah, whatever. Aren't you worried about Doc, Kai? What's that got to do with my oily hands? I brush off her question and head inside the hangar. Wet towelette, where art thou? I find some on the top of the desk and begin to wipe my hands off. Especially my fingertips. Since KB uses the touchscreen, the condition of my fingertips has a major effect on my performance. Oh, a call. Hello? This is about the Passion Accord. Oh, it's Mizuka-san. I asked her to look into Doc for me. Yeah, that's right. I put myself through the Foodageddon that was the passion fruit bun. I'm on my way. Be there in 5. Roger that. Who was that? Jun? Ahio comes walking into the hangar while drinking a skull. Nope, Why? Well, she hasn't shown up today either. And it doesn't look like she's at the hospital, so... She seemed really down in the dumps about Doc, you know? I'm worried. So, why would she call me? Whatever. If I see her around, I'll bring it up. Wait, where are you going? I'm off to Mizuka-san's shop real quick. You need anything? Oh, they get me another skull. She smiles and chugs the rest of her drink. When I arrive at the store, Junna is sitting on the bench out front. She has a blank expression on her face and a bottle of mineral water in her hands. When she notices me, she looks down as if I'm some sort of bad luck. Fancy meeting you here, Jun-chan. Yeah, I'm sorry for skipping club. It's nothing for you to be sorry about. I've been ditching a whole lot recently, so... Besides, before our headcount increased, I had perfect attendance. She clearly doesn't care. Aki-chan is worried about you. You don't seem like yourself these days. Did you go see Doc? Junna lightly shakes her head sideways in response. I guess she hasn't seen him face to face yet. Are you sad because you don't have the courage to go to the hospital right now? Eh? Don't worry. I get that it must have been tough to reconcile with a relative you've been distant with for 10 years. It's not like that. She smiles sadly and once again shakes her head, but this time she's looking up. I do feel bad for Grandpa Fujita, but that's not what's been bothering me. So, is it related to what you almost said to us at the Space Center? Yeah, bingo. Junna stares lifelessly at the water rocking to and fro inside the bottle in her hand. I'm thinking about quitting the robot club. Oh, so that's what this is about. Didn't see that coming. I've just been thinking... I'm so empty. Can't do anything right. Those thoughts led me deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. She's hurt pretty badly. But what can I do to help? What I do know is that it'd be a pain if she quit the club. Junna has a role to fill now. We're short-handed and out of time as it is. If somebody dropped out now, it'd be a huge blow to Akiho. Aw, crap. Look, you should come on in if you're all... Bleh, if you're at all interested in hearing some juicy secret deets about Doc. What? Junna looks dumbfounded. No surprise. Did you know that Tanegashima's best information broker is in here? Thanks for the compliment. Tanegashima's #1 information broker stares me down as I enter her shop. So why am I still getting the death stare treatment, ever radiant Mizuka-san? I was just reminded of how much of a big mouth you are, that's all. Keep your mouth shut is what I'm saying. I've got a certain level of trust I gotta maintain. Sorry, it just slipped. Junna enters the shop with a concerned look on her face. Welcome. Junna quickly bows. Mizuka's gentle smile towards Junna is complete 180 to her, compared to her attitude toward me. Anyways, Mizuka-san, you got some info, right? I grab a bottle of fruit sour melon from the beverage corner and place some coins on the counter to buy it. About the forbidden storage space? That's right. What I really wanted to know was information about this forbidden storage space inside the robot clinic. The very same place that Junna wandered into and experienced her trauma. I only recently heard from Akio and Michi. Blah. Oh wait, yeah. Oh, it was and. I knew I messed up a word there. From Akio that Michi also wandered in once, which is why he got banned from the store. In terms of the timeline, Junna went 11 years ago and Michi went in 8 years ago. Why is this place so important to me, you ask? Because I have to push the power button on a robot in there in order to activate the trigger for Kimijima Report number 4. When the robot clinic first opened 18 years ago, it wasn't the sketchy joint it is now. That's right, on the sign it says since 2001. 18 years ago. Same year that JUNNA and I were born. The store mostly dealt in robot toys, RC vehicles, and whatnot. You mean it was more of a toy store? Yep. Leo's Toy Store by War and Peace. Sorta. But his products were a little too niche for a toy store. Doc was a NASDA engineer after all. There were a lot of adults into hobby robots and RC vehicles who knew Doc's skills and were regulars. But he originally built the place for children. He used to line his storefront with life-size robots. Life-size robots! Those must be the bots in the forbidden storage space. Children from all over the island would visit the store on the weekends. And the robots would greet them. They even talked too. Impressive, right? I went there more than a few times myself. The place really was packed with kids. They were all fascinated by the robots. I mean, what kid wouldn't be? The robots' eyes and mouths would light up and they'd talk back. For a child living in the sticks, these robots were the stuff of dreams. Were they advanced enough to babysit? Of course not. Some just stood there and spun their arms around while others pretended to play instruments. They were all simple gimmicks for kids. But from a child's perspective, isn't that more than enough? I suppose so. But I just can't imagine that stubborn old Doc running a store for children. I was shocked too, but then I remembered something. When I visited the robot clinic as a child, Doc had the biggest smile on his face when he watched us play around with the robots. Doc? Smiling? I try to draw a picture in my head, but it's literally impossible. Back in the day, Doc used to say, robots are mankind's friends. Friends. Jenna jolts as she whispers the word. Did Doc build all those robots himself? Do you know who Dr. Jiro Aizawa is? Jenna and I face each other. Can't say I've ever heard of him. He was known as the Robot Doctor. Who's the first person that comes to mind when someone says Japanese Robotics Kai? The manga artist? Bzz, wrong. Didn't even say their name yet. Next. Mizuki-san points at Junna. Asimov? Asimov? That, you know, that word. Asimov. Who's Asimov? Isn't he a writer? You're on the right track, but I said Japanese, so... Oh, I meant, the life-size robot. Oh, that one. Well, either way, bzz. Mizuki-san lowers her shoulders in disappointment. Well, I'm not one to talk since I only found out about this yesterday. Over half a century ago, Dr. Aizawa had been building robots. They look like Showa tin toys, but their charming moves and voices earned them the name Aizawa Robots. You know, the Osaka Expo in 1970, his robots were on display there. Huh, I had no clue. Apparently Doc was Dr. Aizawa's last apprentice. When he was young, he would visit Dr. Aizawa's place and make him teach all sorts of things. When the robot clinic first opened, the robots that greeted the kids out front were modeled after Aizawa's. There are 9 of them in total, and they currently reside in the robot clinic's storage room. Did those robots have names? Names? Yeah, like human names. For example, Gojiro-kun. Does that name ring a bell? Yeah, it does. They did have names like that. Gojiro, Gajiro, that sort of thing. I don't remember the deets though. Great. That's pretty much confirmation that Gojiro-kun is one of the robots in the forbidden storage space. Is there any way to identify them individually? Hell if I know. Oh, come on. That's the important bit. Why don't you just ask Doc yourself? He'll probably get all pissed. I can sense that I shouldn't go there with Doc. Why are their names so important to you? Well, you know what they say. Names and nature often agree. Kai, what are you scheming? Nothing. I also can't bring up the Kamijima reports with Mizuka-san. God, this is all such a pain. May I? Junna hesitantly opens her mouth. Why did Grandpa Fujita stop? You know, running the store for kids? Mizuka-san sighs and looks Junna straight in the eyes. You probably know more about that than any of us. Me? Regardless of how it happened, there's no way he could just leave those robots outside after the accident. Oh. Is this about when Jun-chan wandered into the forbidden storage space and broke a robot? Is that really something you'd call an accident? From what Junna told me, one of the robots broke, but... I see. Excuse me. Junna abruptly bows. She then exits the store. What the heck? She told you herself, right? All I heard was that she wandered into the storage room, broke a robot, and Doc got mad at her. Mizuka-san stares at the automatic door that Junna exited from, a listless expression on her face. She got hurt real badly that day. I had no idea. Where the accident got around. If you were a parent, you wouldn't want your kid getting hurt, would you? After that, the number of kids that visited the store plummeted. I think Doc, well, probably had a thought or two about the whole thing. At the very least, he completely stopped doing business for kids immediately after the accident. I see. Doc told Michi, but I was in over my head. Now, what should my next move be? For now, I give my thanks to Mizuka-san and exit the store. I can see Junna walking lonesomely towards the school. After lightly jogging for a bit, I managed to catch up to her. Jun-chan, I have a proposal for you. Huh? What is it? Would you like to accompany me to the Robot Clinic's forbidden storage space? Huh? Junna's eyes widen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is another episode of Robotics Instantly Like Animal Crossing. I will see you all tomorrow for another episode of Robotics Instantly Like Animal Crossing. But, until then, no Chio!